Hey guys, JTails here. If you missed part one of this video, I would appreciate if you went back and just checked it out. Maybe just the last 2 minutes. This game is Valkyrie Profile, and I'm dedicating it to my friend Jonathan, who I found out passed away last week. I found out, even though he passed away last month. But basically, him and we've been friends for over 15 years, and I just recently found out. But since he moved to Florida, him and I haven't been talking as much. We actually only spoke maybe once last year. So I didn't even know, how he was feeling, nothing. It's I feel kind of guilty in some ways because I feel like I should have, you know, spoken to my friend, but I'm recently getting over that now. Might you be Sir Arngrim? I'm recently getting over that now, and I know I shouldn't think that way. So if you've ever felt a certain way about someone passing away, as if you feel guilty or like it's your fault, it really isn't your fault, no matter what the situation, unless you physically like murdered them. But trust me, like it really isn't your fault. Um, but my friend, he was a great guy. He was very big. He was a big guy, and kind of like Arngrim. Now that now that I see Arngrim right now, he was very tall, and he was strong. He was like hefty, and he was like an older brother to me because he was 3 years older than me, but we had so much in common, We hung out all the time. At one point, actually, my mom, since he was 3 years older than me, when he was in 8th grade and I was in 5th grade, my mom actually was paying him to babysit me, which is pretty, like, funny because we were friends, so it's like you're getting paid to hang out with your friend. So he just had to pick me up from school and then take me to his house until my mom got home from work. And it was really fun. All he had to do was make sure I finished my homework. That's it. And the first couple of times I didn't finish my homework, so when I got back home, my mom like found out, and then she ended up yelling at him. And then after that, he was just like, "You better finish your homework," and he didn't let me do anything until then. And at that point, Smash 64 had just come out, and he's the whole reason I even got into Smash Brothers, and I'm as good as I am now. So I have him to thank for that, and I will always be thankful for that. And basically, a lot of the video games that I played and learned about were suggestions from him and games that he played, and games we explored together. So we have a lot of history, and it's hard for me not to be reminded of him. I'll take this and this and this. And what would you like to drink? This and this and one of these. Hey, are you really gonna eat all that? Why would I? I'll just have what I want and leave the rest. So it's like any video game I play reminds me of him and I and our friendship. And so just to cut back into the game real quick, Princess Jolanda has disguised herself as Angela, and she's trying to trick Arngrim so that she can hire him. Call your manager. Huh? I said call your manager. Don't act like such a spoiled little princess. So she's definitely acting like a spoiled princess, and is something not to your liking? Not to my liking, you say? What is this meat? It's raw. But miss, that's called sashimi. It's classic Yamato cuisine. And what's this cloudy soup? It smells awful. It must be rotten. Miss, that's an absolute staple of Yamato cuisine, miso soup. And what about this? It's a monster. You're trying to make me eat baby krakens. But miss, that's just plain octopus. You serve monsters? She's so dumb. I assure you, miss, we don't serve monsters here. I have never been so insulted in my entire life. Ah, now my throat is parched. What kind of water is this? Are you trying to poison me? How dare you? 10,000 deaths are not enough for you. And then she passes out. So yeah, you learn, well actually, I was gonna say you learn to love Jolanda, but I don't know, she's kind of annoying. But I'm gonna save my game, in the meantime I'll tell some more stories. Data 1. So where was I? Yeah, so when the Dragon Ball Z saga, the Frieza saga was just coming out on TV, we loved it. We were hooked on the Frieza saga. We wanted to know who the hell was going to beat Frieza. And then Goku came back. So every day we would get home from school to his house, I would have all this freaking homework to do. And I couldn't watch it until I finished all my homework, because my mom would then yell at him if I didn't finish my homework. So he made me miss a lot of Dragon Ball Z, and I was so pissed. Unless I got like light days where I barely had any homework. So, oh, now he realizes she's the princess. Princess Jolanda? What's going on? Well, I know she came here in disguise to hire me for a job. But, yeah, so that one episode when Goku is finally turning Super Saiyan for the first time in history, I hear all the screaming while I'm doing my math homework. I remember this clear as day, and he's over in the living room watching it, and all I hear is, and I hear like the hype music, the rocks breaking, the lightning, and I'm just like, Jonathan, what's going on? And I'm just like, what's going on? And he was just like, yo, Julian, fuck your homework, get over here now. And I just threw my books and ran over there, and it was the most exciting thing I've ever seen. I was just so hyped to see Goku turn Super Saiyan and kick Frieza's ass, and oh man, it was awesome. So that's a great memory. And then we got yelled at by my mom that night because I didn't do shit. I didn't do any of my homework. But yeah, Jolanda's being annoying. So that's it. I understand now.
I insulted that girl's father right in front of her. Of course, I didn't mean to.
Yes, you did.
I just wanted to show what a gutless coward the king is. What I did wasn't wrong. But
Yeah, that's true.
is there any child that would not feel anger at seeing their sire made a fool of?
Yeah, that's another thing. Lately I've been really nice to people. I've been extra nice because you don't know what someone's going through. You don't know what anyone's dealing with and what anyone's going through. So if you can, if you're not in the mood for people or something like that, just remember, like, think about it, that someone might be having a really hard time and you just never know. So give people a smile and say hi, and like, do nice things. I've been giving money to some people on the subway who are beggars or like performers because I know it's hard. I know people don't have jobs. People can get depressed. You know what I mean? So just me being so down lately and having my friend gone, it's giving me a new perspective on things, which is, I guess, kind of interesting. I didn't expect any positive to come from this, but, or at least I haven't seen any of it, but I guess now, you know, not to say that it's a good thing at all, you know, I wish it never happened, but, so Jolanda's gonna come back tomorrow. And this game is really great, I promise. It's just a little slow to start. And this is the story. A job offer, huh? Probably some sort of revenge for what I did to her father. When she comes tomorrow, I'll apologize to her. You're late. So, what's your offer this time? It's short notice, but I need you to help another man deliver. What? Give me a break. You're wasting my time for that? Come on. The pay is top price, so will you take it? My friend and I, we have a lot of, I guess, memes and like inside jokes. And one of them is what Gambit says in Marvel vs. Capcom, where he's like, "Come on, mon ami." And we would say that sometimes, really randomly. Well, I'll take it, but I want 5,000. My price has doubled. Fine, it's a deal. You're serious? Well, if you say so. By the way, who's the other guy you got me teamed up with? You'll meet him soon enough. Yeah, so shady business going on over here. I don't know what that guy's up to, but as long as I get my money, I could care less. Yeah, guys, money is not the most important thing. It's funny because my, I guess my priorities... Whoa, did this freeze? I don't know why it's frozen. Oh. Huh, odd. It's not moving forward. Maybe because it's an emulator, it Great, this really sucks. I was really hoping to get some of this playthrough going. I don't know why it froze. Well, 1 second, I'm gonna cancel and try again, so be right back. Alright guys, sorry to cut Valkyrie profile short, but I couldn't get the game to work. So I'm gonna go ahead and play another one of his and my personal favorites. JR, those were his initials. So I'm gonna start a file up with this game. It's also better this way because this is a game I can kind of just play without needing to talk about the story or the gameplay mechanics. I can kind of just flow. So that's nice. I wanted to talk about, after telling my DBZ story, I wanted to talk about the time when, well, in my neighborhood, sometimes there wasn't too much to do. So we would actually sneak onto private property and just like, we were silly. We never really did much with it. Like, we weren't bad, but we just, we would sneak onto private property and like, they had guards. So we would avoid the guards and it would be like fun, you know. We would consider it a game, even though the guards didn't think so. We would call it missions, doing missions, and it was just like Metal Gear Solid. Not really, but, you know. So, we would like sneak into private property, and if we got caught, we would get arrested. They would call the police on us. So that was tough. But we never got caught. We were also pretty good. We would have to at one point jump from rooftop to rooftop, and that was the scariest because if we would fall, we would die like instantly. But very thankfully, we were kids. Now that I look back on it, I'm just like, oh man, that could have been bad for so many reasons. But don't tell anybody. But now that I'm older, I kind of reflect on it. But we were bored, we were kids, we were having adventures, so I attribute it to that. But one of my favorite stories is okay, so in the private property there was this little a playground there, and they had like slides and swings and little toy houses, like these little houses that I guess you can go inside, and I don't know if any of you guys have had one as kids, but it's just like made out of hard plastic, and you can open the little doors, and it's for little kids, for babies, and you can go inside, you can close the door, you can look out the window, and these are tiny. These are really tiny houses, but we were in what grade? I was in 6th grade, I believe, and some of them were older, some of my friends with us, but we were like, let's say, I don't know, 10 to 14 years old, right, to 15, and we one of the guards was coming, and we heard him on the walkie-talkie. Oh, and we had walkie-talkies too, by the way, so we split up into 2 teams of 3, and we both hid in our respective houses, and we shut all the windows and all the doors. So here I am in a little cramped plastic house with 3 dudes on top of me, and like it's just it's hard to breathe. We're trying to move, but we have to be quiet because the guards are coming, and if they hear us, we're in trouble. So we're quiet, and I had the walkie-talkie on low volume, on like super low volume, just so I can hear what was going on in the other little toy house, because we didn't want to open the windows, because then it would have obviously given away our position. So we were hiding, and we were freaking out, and I was like, I don't want to go to jail, I don't want to, all this stuff, obviously. And then my friend Jonathan, he's on the other end of the walkie-talkie, and he's just like, oh my god, Julian, the guards are going over to your house. And I heard footsteps, so I'm like, oh fuck. And he's like, the guard's coming. Shh, you got to be quiet. Stop moving. So I stop, everyone in the house is like quiet, and we're like scrunched up, like there is no space for anything. And so we're all freaking out. Our hearts are just beating like you wouldn't even imagine. So then he's like, the guard's coming. He's opening your window. And the window like creaks open slowly. And next thing I know, I just get a blast of like white all over the face. Like I know that sounded wrong, but no, it's not what you're thinking. Literally like fog, like, and it's all over. It went in my, like, everywhere, in my mouth, everywhere. And what it was basically we were all coughing, and since we were all freaking out because we got some white fog all over us, the house broke. We broke the little house because we were like freaking the fuck out. So that happened, and it made so much noise, and we had to get out of there. And so we had to, now the guards were coming for real, and I'm here coughing like so hard, the hardest I've ever coughed, because my friend Jonathan decided it would be a great idea to grab the fire extinguisher and extinguish all of us in the house. So yeah, if you ever want to know what fire extinguisher tastes like, it's really salty. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, imagine if you poured a bunch of salt in your hand and licked it. Like, but saltier than what that would taste like. That's the best way I can describe it. It was horrible. So that was a thing. What else? I know that there's more mission stories. Oh, on the other side note, we another time we went doing missions. We were in this other place, and it was this place with a ledge, basically. So once you go this way, you can't go back any other way. Like, if you go back, you have to go through this long outside corridor in front of people's houses. So now, all right, we didn't know it was at the end of this path. So once we found out, it was a dead end, right? So we hit this dead end, and then a Rottweiler jumps out the window of whatever place it lived in, and it starts like coming for us all, and it's 6 of us. So now we're on this I want to say 3-story ledge. It was pretty high, but not impossible. Like, we wouldn't have died if we jumped off, but it would have hurt, and maybe we would have broken bones. So now this dog's coming at us, and it's growling. It's fast. It's big, and everyone freaks the fuck out. And there's still some room, you know, but there's this little fence. It's a little black fence you have to climb over, and then you can jump down, and you fall back onto the sidewalk. Now, I was just trying to figure out what I was gonna do, because everyone kept going over the fence and jumping off, and I heard them screaming, and I was just like, I kept looking down, and it's like, is my fear of dogs greater than my fear of heights? I don't know what to do. So I was like, my heart was going 1,000 miles a minute. I was just freaking out. I didn't know what to do. So eventually, everyone was jumping down, and I already knew that I wasn't gonna do it. So my friend Jonathan, he was already going over the little fence, and he looked at me right before he was gonna let go. He just looked into my eyes, and he knew I wasn't going anywhere. So he was just like, "Damn it, Julian!" And he climbed back over the fence and like stayed with me, like with the dog. And he picked up a log and he started yelling. We both started yelling, which obviously drew attention from people, but it started scaring the dog back. He was swinging this giant log. It might have been a 2x4, but it was a big piece of wood. That's what I remember. And he was a big guy, so he was just swinging it left and right, and the dog was backing up. It was still growling, but it was backing up, which was nice. And eventually the owner came out and was just like, "What the fuck is going on here?" He grabbed his dog by the collar and he said, "You kids better get the fuck out of here before I call the cops." And I was just like, "Yes, sir," and we left. But if it wasn't for my friend Jonathan, I would have either been maimed or I don't know what would have happened. And I also did find out that one of my friends who jumped off that ledge fractured his ankle. So I know, like, I wouldn't have been in the best position jumping off that ledge either. So I will always have him to thank for that too. Another thing we used to do was we would get lunch money from our parents, I guess, and we wouldn't eat. We had something called the J&J Foundation, and we would pool our money together, all our lunch money and allowance together, so that by the end of the week, we'd be able to buy a new game, a brand new N64 or PlayStation game, and we would share it. And this is pretty cool because they were like $40, $45, I think, at the time. Now games are like 65 or something crazy, and yeah, it was just awesome. We were able to buy a new game every week because we pooled our money together. So I remember I was in the summer program, and during the summer I spent every day at his house. After school, I had summer school, but not because I'm dumb. I had summer school because I was going to an, I guess, accelerated program to try and get into a good high school. But every summer I'd go to his house, and every day in the summer rather, and he'd have a new game. Like, I remember coming to his place and seeing Paper Mario being played, and I was just like, "What is this?" And then one day I saw Pokemon Stadium 2 being played. I saw Beetle Adventure Racing being played, and just all these awesome games. It would be a new adventure. It's just like, whoa, you know? So that was exciting. It's exciting for young kids to just get new games, and we would just play the crap out of those games. That was fun. We just have a lot of good memories together. Sorry I'm saying so much. I'm just collecting my thoughts, and I don't know what to say, like, as a pause or whatever. But, yeah, so after he finished playing the games, he would give them to me. Because he would, like, play all the single-player modes of them, and he would finish them. And then, basically, like, I didn't play much of the single player because it was at his house the entire time. So he would then give it to me. He's like, here, you can have it, I'm done with it. So most of my N64 games are our games. Like, we bought them together, and now I still have possession of them. So it's funny because I didn't think about it until now. I was just trying to figure out, like, what do I have from him? Like, what do I have as a memory or that he left me that I can remember him by? But aside from all the awesome games that I would have never known existed, like this one, I also have physical N64 games that we shared, and I actually still have those in my house. So that's really awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna probably take a pause here because this video is now a bit longer. But thanks for watching, guys. If you care to watch the next video, I'll probably be closer to beating Symphony of the Night because I know, like, the speedrun strategies. Oh, actually, I messed up on one of them, but I won't beat the game, but I'll get far. But in any case, if you guys are interested in part 3 of this little mini series dedicated to my friend, feel free to watch. I'm gonna just tell a couple more stories, some good times, some bad times. So thanks for watching. Later.